a lot of really good women in office.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hate on anyone. I even like some really good congresswomen. I don't think women should hold office in general. It's a man's position.
Yeah.
That's my stance. I think women should, run the home.
That was Mylie Biggs, 25-year-old daughter of Arizona Representative Andy Biggs, one of Trump's biggest supporters, does not believe women should hold elected office, or at least that's what she said before. Now, she would very much like to hold elected office, okay? She's running for the state Senate for the 14th Legislative District. And is she gonna be running on her stance that she alone, I guess, is a woman who can be allowed to hold political office? Or is she just coasting off of Andy Biggs' name? Probably more of the latter at this point. But anyway, let's talk a little bit more about her opinions on women and their role in the world. She said, honestly, I don't know if I would vote for any female. Just some advice to her potential constituents, by the way. I don't know if females should be in office, okay? Now, she was younger when she said that. It was last August, I guess. She wasn't 13 or anything. She expressed concerns about how modern feminism has changed society, starting with women's right to vote. So evidently, it's not just holding office that she has an issue with. She's in the Ann Coulter camp. She says, I hate a 9-to-5 schedule, before saying that a domesticated life was something that appealed to her. I get home and I don't want to do anything else. Like, women aren't built for this. I just want to be a wife. I just want to be a mom. And I just want to say, is it possible that you're not built for it? And that's fine. You can be a wife and you can be a mom. I don't even say just. I think those are fine things to be. I think being a husband and being a dad are great. No justs necessary. But just because that's what you want to do, does that necessarily mean that that's what every woman should be legally allowed to do? You can just be a stay-at-home mom. You don't have to go on podcasts to advocate that no other woman hold elected office or perhaps be able to vote at all. And finally, in December of last year, she went back on that podcast to say, talking about the results of the 2024 election. She said, have you seen the ones where it's like if women were the only ones to vote, what it would look like, and it's literally 80% blue? It's like, whoa, repeal the 19th Amendment. And so I'm left wondering, is it her like honest ideological stance that women are just too dumb to vote? Or does she just do this for pragmatic reasons? I don't like it because most women vote for Democrats. So for that reason, I think they should be barred for voting. I don't know which of those explanations is the true one, but thankfully they both suck. Yaz, what do you think?
Yeah, it all sucks. Like what an idiot. I can't take these people seriously. And I don't like that I am, or that anyone really is expected to, because these are not serious people. This is a child who is still like developing her own thoughts and her ideas about the world. And, typical, like they think they have it all figured out. And I know I sound like an old lady when I say this, but like, you don't know as much as you think you know about the world, because it's all so simple and small-minded, right? Like, I'm not built for a 9-to-5 job either. I tried it, it wasn't for me. I was bad at it, so I found a different job. And now I have financial independence, even though I am married. And, not to make this about me, but, I do a lot of that trad wife stuff. I do a lot of the stuff in the house. I think actually Waz called me the TYT trad wife, which I'm fine with, because I do, I cook, I bake, I sew, I do all these things that like
DIY
do, but I still just, you still have to forge your own path, and that's all that feminism is the option to forge your own path instead of having your path dictated for you. And the fact that men do not have these limitations on them and never really have at any point in history, that is not fair. And all we want as women is the fact to choose for ourselves. And why is that such a controversial thing that we have to keep talking about it? It's all so dumb. And the people who perpetuate these ways of thinking, it's like, look, if you can't, expand your own thinking beyond where it is, but beyond this very, very restricted, constricted way of thinking, that shouldn't be my problem. But instead we have people like this who are on podcasts because, what do they say? The barrier to entry is a little too low these days, right? We have these people who are now considering running for public office. And unfortunately, they appeal to other people who are just as small-minded as they are.
Yeah.
And really, it's like a psychological thing, you know? Like if you see someone who is doing something that you think you can't do, you say, you know what? I'd rather if nobody was able to do that, because then I wouldn't feel as bad about myself. It's like whenever you have a uniform in school, then you can't feel bad between the kids because one kid has better clothes than the other one. It's the same like kind of psychology. And if that is your own limiting belief, then like deal with it. That's your problem and it shouldn't be my problem.
Exactly. Look, they of course have convinced themselves that no, feminists are lying when they say it's about choice. No, they're saying you have to work, which is again not what they're saying. I'll never understand arguing against a position by implying that they mean the opposite of what they keep saying for years and years and years. But she doesn't understand that, except that she clearly does, because last year she was saying they shouldn't be allowed to hold office, and then she thought about it and decided, no, I want to hold office. Clearly you understand the choice between those two things. But also, just like she could well end up winning. I mean, I imagine that all that stuff is going to be in ads against her, whatever. But like for anybody that has thought about running for office and then decided, it's just too difficult or it takes too much money or who am I to run? Like I've even once or twice thought about it and I've thought about all the issues with that. Meanwhile, she leaves college for a year, goes on dumb podcasts, says stupid ass things. And then she's like, well, I do have the last name of a congressman. Maybe I'll get into the state senate or whatever. You know, that is the entitlement and ignorance that greases the wheel. Maybe she's in a red enough district that it could actually work. What a pathetic democracy we're in.